Roman Empire. For centuries, they persecuted and ostracized the Christians. Then, almost overnight, their religion rose to become the dominant faith of the empire. Does anyone know what suddenly caused the Christians to become accepted? Jubilee?
The emperor became Christian?
Exactly right. Emperor Constantine and his ruling class all converted. This sets the example for the rest of
You know that guy you came in with? Does he really have steel claws that come out of his hands?
What kind of mutation is that?
Valerius, Constantine invaded what?
Italy?
Italy, exactly. It was during this campaign that he had a vision of a cross of light glowing from the sun, which prompted him to have all of his men put crosses on their shields. 325 AD. John, what did I tell you?
Sorry.
I'm Bobby. What's your name? Rogue. What's your real name?
Marie.
Welcome to Mutant High.
And allows the next mixture of fuel and air to come into the chamber. And then the cycle continues. Now, Nick, you remember where the carburetor is? You want to show it to us? Okay, go ahead and take that off.
Tomorrow, be prepared for a quiz.
Hey. Do you want to meet me for dinner tonight? I mean, I could show you around.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Great. I'll see you.
The lesson wasn't too painful, I hope.
No. Good. How's Logan? Is he okay?
He's fine. He's quite resilient. How long have you been on your own, Rogue?
8 months? I didn't know there were places like this.
I don't think there are many places like this.
And the professor. Can he actually cure me?
I don't think it really works like that.
This is my room.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tour.
Do you want to meet me for lunch tomorrow?
Sure.
You gotta,
Sorry. Good night.
Still no trace of them. You look tired, Charles.
It's frustrating. And I'm afraid, Jean. Knowing he's out there somewhere. I had hoped we'd be much more prepared before it came to this.
Let me try.
Not yet. When you're ready.
I am ready. I know it. I can feel my power expanding all the time.
Yet in the Senate hearing,
I know. I lost control.
I just don't want to see you get hurt.
What is it?
I sometimes wonder if I should have involved all of you in this. Just let you live your own lives.
Well, I can't speak for the others. But it wouldn't have been much of a life without you. I think you'll be comfortable here.
Where's your room?
With Scott down the hall.
Was that your gift, putting up with that guy?
Actually, I'm telekinetic. I can move things with my mind.
Really? What kinds of things?
All kinds of things. I also have some telepathic ability.
Like your professor?
Nowhere near that powerful. But he's teaching me to develop it.
I'm sure he is. So read my mind.
I'd rather not.
Come on. You afraid you might like it?
I doubt it.
Maybe your professor's holding you back. Maybe he's not alone.
I hope you're not suggesting that Scott's holding me back.
I don't know, he seems a little restrained for a woman like you.
Really?
Just an observation.
If Scott opened his eyes without that visor, he could punch a hole through a mountain. I think it's good for all of us if he has a sense of control. Don't you? Wait. Come here. All right. I need you to try and relax.
What do you see?
Scott. Good night, Logan. Are you coming?
I'll be right there.
You gonna tell me to stay away from your girl?
Well, if I had to do that, she wouldn't be my girl.
Well, then I guess you've got nothing to worry about, do you? Cyclops.
You know, I'd feel a lot better if you were taking this more seriously. Some mutants take pride in their gifts. Especially those of us who are willing to fight for what we believe in.
You ever seen real combat, boy?
Have you? Don't like to talk about your past?
Not to you.
Well, it must just kill you that a boy like me saved your life. Gotta be careful. I might not be there next time. And Logan, stay away from my girl.
So much violence. But at the same time, he's got, I don't know, a real sense of honor, I guess. What do you think?
I think if you're going to read minds, there are safer places to start than Logan's.
Logan, if we do this, we do it as a team. Are you gonna have a problem taking orders?
I don't know. Give me one.
Put this on.
Whose is it?
It's one of mine.
What's the appeal?
Well, I think beneath the costumes and the spectacle and the fighting and the fun, there's an underlying philosophy about prejudice, about feeling outcast, fear of the unknown, trying to find your place in the world. Very universal concepts that that people have been attracted to. Mostly young people. You know, when you're an adolescent, you always feel different.
Where the hell are we?
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
And I think any young person exposed to X-Men says, wow, what if I could go to Professor Charles Xavier's School for the Gifted in Westchester, New York, where I could hone my fantastic powers and help defend...
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a very universal concept, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, amazing. I assume that it is because it is this identification with people feeling alone and feeling different and feeling like...
Like a mutant.
Like a mutant, yeah. I mean, that's universal identification with...
Yeah, with different, it doesn't matter, and anyone, even as you get older, you feel, you know, am I in this alone?
Am I the only person that feels
this way? Exactly.
And movies was a natural place for you to gravitate to?
Very natural. I'd been doing photography and movies since I was like 13, in the 8mm format.
Yeah. So you get this commitment of $75 million to go make a movie, right? And you got the creator of the X-Men on your side. He's supportive and believes in it and enthusiastic about it. So everybody's on board. How difficult is it to make a movie like this?
Well, it's difficult for
tons of special effects.
Tons of reasons. One of which is special effects, but that came fairly easily to me. There are tools like cinematography, lighting, sound, and you know, and if you have an imagination, you can sort of visualize these things. The issue is a little tough, mostly because the budget of the film, comparatively to most big event kind of films, was fairly conservative. Right. And the time, the schedule when we were to be released, and these things were real challenges for us. And also worrying about the fans to some degree, and the non-fans, and how they would respond or take an interest in the movie. But again, you know, my approach to that was always, how would I want a director to treat my favorite universe, something I've loved for decades. And I would simply want he or she to take it seriously as you take any serious science fiction film. With all the action and the fun, it should be taken seriously. It should be looked at as a film. So I did. I looked at it as I'd look at any other film I'd make. And that's how I hope to deliver.
Where do you get the ability to work with actors? I mean,
well, what I try to do is first create an environment where they can feel and trust that nobody knows the movie and cares more about the movie than me. So then trust exists, and once trust exists, then the best that they have to offer can emerge. I guess that's the base idea.
in the end, was the experience of making this any different from any other film you've ever made, Apt Pupil or Usual Suspects? I mean, in a sense, is it what you do remains the same regardless of the budget, regardless of special effects, regardless of whether it's a small focus film or a larger film driven from a popular other source?
Yeah, absolutely the same. I mean, it's longer shoot, longer days. It becomes an endurance test sometimes, but ultimately it's very similar. You know, it's an original idea or a novella, you know, like Suspects, or a novella like Apt Pupil, the comic book. It's still a film that's got to stand on its own, and you still approach performances. No matter how outrageous the costumes get or the powers, you still have to sit there and explain to Ian McKellen while he's hanging from cables and with his helmet and cape. Okay, I need it real. I need conversational. I need you to be real. And he just looks at you and says, right, okay, we'll do it again.
But are you telling him that it wasn't real and it wasn't conversational and I need more of this?
Sometimes more of this, more of that. Yeah. Oh, there's always that kind of discourse. Sometimes you're in a position and you're having trouble visualizing the moment or what's going to happen before or after. If you're an actor and you think you have the idea firm, but you're not getting it, and that's where I come in, because I know what came before and what will come after, and I can sort of give that kind of advice, But these are fine actors. I mean, these guys, I have as much to learn from them as, if not a lot more than they do from a little guy like me.
And do you
learn from them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I learn from everybody. Yeah, sure. Every day shooting, you learn something. A week of shooting is like 5 years of film school. It's crazy.
Do you view this as some kind of turning point for you, in a sense that some muscles you had to challenge, you had to use, some experiences that were important wherever you wanted to go as a filmmaker?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I've always loved science fiction fantasy as a genre, both in literature and in film and television. So I've desperately wanted to get into it, and this is a way into it.
What's next?
I don't know. I just finished this movie literally a week and a half ago. I've never even seen it with an audience. So I need to rest for at least a few weeks before I figure that out.
What did you think when this was supposed to be a Christmas release, and they said, no, we've changed our mind?
Well, when they called...
It's a summer movie.
Yeah. Well, when they called me and said, you've got the summer, I said, oh, great, summer 2001. Well, that'll be an extra 6 months. Think of all the things I'll be able to accomplish with an extra 6 months. And then the president of the studio said, no, it's summer 2000. And I said, oh, well, I guess we have no choice. I thought that that was the first of 100 obstacles I knew I would have to encounter before I was finished. I just knew it. I did, this is the first one, and there's going to be more.